what's up, guys? This is Johnny, and welcome to episode 12 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. This week we have Josh Stanton from ScrewThe9to5.com. Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, why?
Just because I like you and I like talking to you. You're a pretty cool guy, you know.
Well, you know, you're yours as well. So, I mean, one of the reasons why I do this podcast is it gives me an excuse to sit down with all the interesting people I meet while traveling. So I met Josh and his wife, Jill, out here in Chiang Mai a while back.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and these guys make pretty good money online, and they have a great life. And so I wanted to pick your brain about, first, how to make money, how other people can start online businesses doing kind of the same type of techniques. But also I wanted to ask a lot about, you know, what it's like to travel with your wife and be in business with your wife. Because I'm sure a lot of people listen to this, you know, are in kind of similar situation where they're at home, they have a family, and they're wondering, is this possible? So what are some, I mean, how did that even come about?
Working together?
Yeah.
So we first started working together at the beginning of last year. Jill, before that, she had a business where she was a social media manager for restaurants and bars in Toronto. And I was doing what I'm doing now, and she really liked what I did. So we decided together that we were just going to team up and work on the same business as opposed to working on two separate ones.
Yeah, and that's fantastic because you guys have these great videos where you guys are together on camera as a couple, and you guys both have your strengths. I mean, what exactly is ScrewThe9to5?
We set up ScrewThe9to5. Initially, the idea came up because we wanted to have a website that would enable us to connect with other marketers because, you know, it's a very lonely industry to be in, working online. You know, it's hard to connect with people. So we set up this website as a way of connecting with other people doing what we're doing and basically being able to talk to people like you, Johnny.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously you wouldn't talk to us unless we had a website, so...
No, yeah, that's my rule. I mean, even when I date girls, I'm like, hey, do you have a website? No? Oh, sorry.
It's a good rule.
We can't have a coffee. All right, so that's the site where people can check out, you know, about your, you know, about internet marketing. But the actual way that you make money is through what?
Yeah, so we're one of those rare people that don't make money through our blog. We make money through, like as you do, through businesses outside of that. So affiliate marketing is a very simple definition. Is, let's say you have a website. People come to your website and click on what's called your affiliate link. And once they click that link, they go through to a merchant's website and they purchase a product. That commission is tracked and you take money from that. And the commissions range from anywhere from 5% to 75%, depending on what industry you're in.
Yeah, affiliate marketing is a great way to get started because it doesn't really require any upfront costs from you. You just sign up as an affiliate, and as long as you have readers of your blog or your website or just customers that, you know, trust you and you have traffic, I mean, you can basically make money through affiliate marketing. What do you think the biggest pros and cons are for affiliate marketing?
The biggest pro is that you're not dealing with customers. So you're not handling fulfillment. You're just basically sending people to websites and then taking commissions for that. So it's kind of nice when sometimes people email you and ask you questions about the product, and you can literally just send them an email with a link to your merchant's website and say you can contact them there. So it's kind of nice. You don't have to deal with customers in that sense. It's very easy. You can just bank money. The con would be that you don't have any control over the fulfillment and marketing process. So let's say you're promoting one product or one offer and you're making money from that offer. The merchant decides to shut that offer down. You go from making, you know, whatever you're making to making nothing overnight. As opposed to if you're handling inventory yourself with an e-commerce store, you can control everything there is that goes into selling that product.
So an example for everyone listening, if you guys aren't really that sure what affiliate marketing is still, the easiest example is, so let's say I ask Josh, what are some books that you've read that you really enjoy that you recommend?
Some books?
Yeah.
Any Seth Godin book is sure to be good.
Okay. Or like personally, I like 4 Hour Work Week.
Okay.
Tim Ferriss. Everyone's read that, right?
I haven't. No.
You haven't?
No,
Okay.
I have. Yeah.
See. What are some of Seth Godin's books?
So the Linchpin is a really good book. I don't know. There's a lot of books.
Okay. So I mean, so an example of how I would make money through affiliate marketing, recommending these books is if you guys go to Travel Like a Boss podcast, episode 12 with Josh's episode, and there'll be a link there to Seth Godin's books on Amazon. And if you end up buying that book through Amazon, I would get a commission for that. And it's not going to be a ton of money. It's only going to be maybe 5% of a $13 book. So it's not a lot of money, but that's going to be on the site for years. People will come back, listen to this episode. It'd be the same price to the consumer, to you, as if you went to Amazon directly to buy it. So there's really no downside to the customer. There's only upside because, you're getting a book recommendation that it's going to be a good book, and there's a link to go buy it, and that's really it. I mean, that's kind of the simplest form of affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I mean that's a pro for the consumer. Like they don't lose anything. You're not making extra money on top of what they're paying for the initial sale, the initial product. So it's just a way of being a middleman online, pretty much.
Yeah. So when you're saying the affiliate percentage can range from 5% up to 75%, can you give us some examples of how to basically raise that percentage instead of, because Amazon will give you less than 10% always. What are some ways you can get 50% more?
So the difficult part is finding those offers, finding those products. If you're promoting digital products, say on clickbank.com, they have a lot of digital products there. Most of those are commissions of anywhere from 50 to 75%. I've even seen some at 90%. Because the cost of those products, developing those products and manufacturing them is nothing. So they can afford to give their affiliates a lot of money. But if you're selling hard goods, say on Amazon, you're going through Amazon, so they're going to take a cut. And then secondly, you're getting hard products manufactured in China or wherever. So the cost of the manufacturing and the shipping takes a big chunk out. Therefore, the merchants can only afford to offer you small amounts. There are a lot of other offers that are coming out now that have high percentages commissions. Those tend to normally be supplement type products just because the cost of developing those is very cheap.
Yeah, it's true. I guess so with all pharmaceuticals, let's say drugs, for example, they always say that the first pill might cost them $2 million to make, but each pill after that only costs them 2 cents. So supplements are very similar where, a bottle of supplements might only cost a couple dollars to manufacture, but they can sell it for $60 a bottle, and they're quite light to ship. So they can afford to give you a huge cut on it because because the margin's so good. Versus if you're selling furniture, for example, or even a book, the book might cost $7 to print, and if they're selling it for $11.99, and they have to ship it, it's really hard for them to give you a big percentage of it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Also, skincare is a pretty good one too. Anything that's kind of lightweight and easy to make, it is easy to produce, tends to offer pretty good commissions. The other thing to think about too is a lot of these merchants, a lot of these guys who are selling these products, these supplements and things, their only form of marketing that they try and use is through affiliates. So they want to get affiliates promoting their products for them.
That's actually a good question that a lot of customers people listening might be interested in is why would somebody pay you 50% to promote their product?
Well, you got to think the most difficult part of selling any product is getting traffic to your site. So if let's say you have all these minions, basically, all these affiliates that are doing all that for you, you don't have to worry about that. You can just pay them pretty good money and not have to spend any money yourself on promotion because they're doing all that for you.
Yeah, and I definitely agree that, even though as let's say a producer of a product, the idea of paying someone 50% of it, it sounds like a lot, but at the end of the day, that's money that I wouldn't have made anyways. So I might as well, have somebody. It's basically hiring a full-time sales team. And if they do a good job, I'm going to make more money and they're going to make more money. And as long as the product is good, the customer's happy as well, and it's going to spread. So I would say the biggest downsides to affiliate marketing is if someone's promoting a product that they don't believe in, that might make some sales in the short run, but eventually, very quickly, people will realize, hey, this isn't, you have a high chargeback rate through ClickBank, or you'll have lots of, returns. So I definitely recommend everyone that's even thinking about affiliate marketing to only recommend things that they actually believe in themselves.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of longevity, affiliate marketing isn't the best business model, but there is a way of doing it so that you can just promote products that people actually want to pay money for, and they'll keep coming back for more. They'll keep reading your website and coming back. So I do two different types of affiliate marketing. So I set up authority sites, which are sites that have a couple hundred posts on them, and I don't just promote every product. I only promote the best product in each category. And then I have small niche sites where I'm just setting up 4-page sites for the purpose of ranking and then funneling traffic through to the merchant's website.
Can you explain that a little bit more in layman's terms for people?
In layman's terms?
Yeah.
So an authority site is, I think I just said, is just a bigger site that the goal of that website is to create its own traffic. So to get people coming back for more, get them on your email list, and you don't have to worry too much about trying to rank on page 1 of Google for everything, because you're creating a site that has good content and that you're able to create your own traffic from it.
Okay, so an example of that would be something like, let's say you're recommending whey protein powder. You would write a bunch of articles that explain the pros and cons of whey protein versus soy protein versus another type of protein, like let's say rice protein. Maybe talk about the different brands, talk about the benefits of it. Another article could be, should you take it in the morning, should you take it at night? So basically just real content that's actually useful, that people will enjoy, want to come back, maybe even share it with their friends.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not specifically just trying to target keywords. I think that's the main difference there. You're actually creating content because you want to create content based off interesting topics. So the other form of marketing I do is niche marketing. So small sites, right? Very small sites. And the whole purpose of those is to rank on page 1 of Google for specific keywords that I write posts around. And that way I know I can get traffic, and I know I can funnel that traffic through my affiliate links. And then make money from them. So for that, I specifically target long tail keywords. Long tail keywords, just an example of that would be, let's use whey protein again. Whey protein wouldn't be the long tail keyword, but a long tail keyword off that would be, what is the best whey protein powder, or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So you would rank for this super long keyword that maybe only 50 people a month type in, but because nobody else is trying to target this super long keyword, it relatively be easy to get to top of Google.
Absolutely.
So when they go into your site, what then?
So on the niche sites, when they go into that website, it's pretty simple, really. It's just a 400 to 600 word post about the keyword, about the topic in the keyword, the long tail keyword, and then there'll be a sidebar banner which will be an affiliate link, and then there'll be a couple of affiliate links scattered throughout the content of the post. On the authority sites, the bigger sites, it's more different than that. So I'll have like a bit of a funnel system set up, a bit of a sales funnel. So with the authority sites, it's a little bit different. I set up a bit of a sales funnel with this. So let's say someone comes into, I have a skincare authority site, a big skincare site. Let's say they come in through Google, they've searched for the keyword term, how to get rid of cystic acne, for example. I know my shit, by the way.
Nice.
And they come into a page that explains how to get rid of cystic acne. And then at the bottom of that page, I'll have a link that'll go through to a review of the best product, the best acne product that we believe that they should purchase. They'll go through to that review, which is again on our site. They'll read that review, and then there'll be affiliate links on that page that hopefully they'll click.
And bam.
And bam.
Done.
It's done.
I like that. All right. So if somebody wanted to get started in affiliate marketing, all right, so let's say you woke up tomorrow, you had no websites, you had no money, and you wanted to make money online. What would you do to get started?
I would probably get started with the niche marketing model, just because it's a lot easier to rank for. If you can do keyword research properly, if you spend time focusing on that initially, you could find some really good keywords that are easy to rank for, get on page 1 of Google, and you'll start getting traffic right away. A lot of people make the error of thinking that they can just set up a website in whatever industry they want to be in and overnight become the top dog in that niche. This doesn't work like that, because some of those sites have been doing that for years, so they're already established. So I would initially start by doing those niche sites that I said before, small 4-page sites where you're targeting really low competition keywords that you can rank for very quickly on page 1 of Google, and you start driving traffic immediately. You should start seeing some money. Those sites can make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 depending on the niche that you're in.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, and I think when people start seeing sales, and even their first sale, even if it's a very small amount of money, they realize that it works. And from there, it's really easy to want to dedicate your time to build up, let's say, an authority site where it might take months to build up. Like for example, I mean, the easiest way to get started, let's say you've never made any money online and you just want to taste for blood. You just want to be like, okay, does this work or not? What I would do is I would find a product that you've bought recently that you recommend, that you feel comfortable recommending to your friends and your family, and sign up for an Amazon affiliate link for it, and then just blast that on your Facebook wall or email to your friends saying, hey, I read this book recently that I really enjoyed, The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I think you would like this as well. Post that up and see if anyone buys it. If you write it like a personal recommendation, you maybe even write a little bit of a review on what it did for you, and people buy and people trust you because they're your friend, your family. They'll buy the book. It's not like Amazon's going to charge them an extra 30% to give you commission. It's going to cost them the same amount of money as if they went Amazon directly. And that way you'll see some money in your bank and you'll be like, oh, wow, this actually works. And I really believe that gives people motivation to really just get started in all this. Because I think the biggest problem that most people have with internet marketing and internet businesses is they just never really get started to make money. I mean, you obviously you've met a lot of people that want to get into internet marketing. What do you think the biggest thing that stops people are?
Yeah, so people don't make any money within. This is normally what happens. People don't make any money within a month. A month is like not much time at all, but they don't make any money within a month. Because the thing is, people are used to being on a job or being in a job, right? So when you first start, you get your paycheck after a week. With this, we didn't see our first paycheck until 3 months in. And you got to get used to that. We didn't see our first sale until 2 months in. And even the first paycheck we got wasn't enough to live off. So it's sort of, I think what you need to do is you need to just make your first dollar. That's what someone told me a long time ago when I first started. So just make your first dollar and then you know you can do it. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I highly agree with that. How do you think it is like living out here in Chiang Mai, being in the co-working office space, being surrounded by people who are actually making money online? How has that affected your business and your mentality?
Dramatically. Before we came out here, we were in Toronto and we weren't around anybody. Actually, I didn't even think there were this many people having an online business. And when we were in Toronto, we were just hanging out with other 9-to-5ers and we weren't getting anything out of them because I like to talk about online business. I like to talk about online marketing, but none of my friends did. They just wanted to talk about getting drunk and things like that, which is fine. Like it's okay. That's their lives. That's what they chose. But since I came out here, I've realized that there are so many people just like me that are wanting to talk about what it is that we're doing and how to expand upon some of the ideas that we have right now. And I think one of the things that I'd probably tell your followers is make $1,000 a month. Get to the point where you're making $1,000 a month, and then get the hell out of wherever you are. Get the hell out and come over here, and just start talking to people, because that's going to be the quickest way to reach the kind of success that you want.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that as well, because $1,000 you can live pretty decently out here, especially in Chiang Mai. Other parts of Thailand are more expensive, like Bangkok, but Chiang Mai's better anyways. And for $1,000 a month, you can get a pretty decent room in a good neighborhood. You can eat out 21 meals a week. You can afford to even get a couple of massages a week. I mean, you're not gonna be able to have New Zealand lamb every night, but I mean, $1,000 you can live absolutely fine. I was surviving off of $600 a month when I was bootstrapping my business, so it's definitely possible.
You can do it. Yeah, I met someone the other day who's living off $500, so you can do it. I mean, I don't want to do that myself, but eventually you're going to get to a point where you can start spending a bit more money. And what's really cool about here as well is that you can live like a baller for $1,000 a month, I reckon, if you want to. If you want to focus on your business, you can live in a really nice room and be super comfortable. Whereas when we were back in Toronto, we were living in a, can I swear?
Yeah.
In a shithole in the middle of winter. And we moved out to Thailand in the middle of winter, so in January. And we moved to Koh Tao, which is a small island down in the south. And we got a place out there for the same amount that we were paying rent for back in our shithole in Toronto. So
yeah. And I mean, how far were we from the beach in Koh Tao?
We were just 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a nice beach too. It's like a white sand. I mean, it's idyllic beach. Koh Tao is a really cool place. Great scuba diving.
It's paradise. It's like a paradise island. We went from living in like ghetto Toronto area in the snow and ice to like living in paradise in Thailand for the same amount.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, winter in North America, like let's say November, January, February, March. I mean, it's kind of miserable. I think people are very depressed or unhappy. They don't really go out. They drink a lot. They just kind of waste their money on stuff. They get fat.
I don't know how you guys lived like that the whole time. I grew up on the Gold Coast in Australia where it's sunny most of the time. And when I went to Toronto for 2 years, I didn't realize how much I missed the sun until I went there.
I mean, I do like the snow, especially for 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Going. I want to learn how to snowboard, so that's going to be a big plan of mine.
You don't know how to snow?
Not yet. I will.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in California. We didn't really have snow. I mean, I guess I could have went to the mountains, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't have time or money for that. That was the two biggest problems all the time. Is you work all week, and yeah, you can make it a priority to plan out a weekend ski trip. But for me, I think what I'm going to do is when I want to learn how to snowboard, I'm just going to stay there for a whole season. I mean, and I've actually been asking people where the best place is. Some people have suggested like somewhere in Europe, or other people even said, hey, why don't you just go to Montana or something and just basically rent an apartment for the entire season and just get a season pass and just go every day and you're going to get good at it. Japan would be cool.
Japan, go to this place called Niseko. It's amazing there, and you can rent there for fairly cheap as well. See, that's the cool thing. I mean, like, again, another benefit of living this lifestyle is if you want to go and do a season, you can go do a season at some ski resort and you can work maybe 3 or 4 hours a day and the rest of the time just go and snowboard. Like, that's crazy. You wouldn't get that in any other lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to save up enough money or get enough truly passive income to be able to just do that and not open your laptop for 3 months straight, it's really hard to do, I mean, to be honest. But it's relatively easy to do, to be able to have a location independent business where, you still have to work, let's say 4 days a week, a few hours a day, but you can do it from your laptop anywhere. And to me, I actually enjoy working now, so I don't mind that at all. I mean, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I used to think for a long time that in order to make a lot of money, I needed to put a lot of hours in. But I've realized that actually that's kind of the opposite. So what you need to do is you need to just think don't think in terms of time that goes in that you should spend in your business. Think in terms of what your business really needs at any stage. So I used to write down big to-do lists, and what I found kept happening was I would do all the easy things first, and then I would leave out the hard stuff, the stuff that really needed to get done, and then I would just keep adding onto all the easy stuff onto my list. So I would do all the easy things and check them off, cross them off, but all the hard stuff would remain. So what I've done is I've changed my strategy and just thought, you know what, today I'm just going to spend 3 hours and do this really hard task, and then I'm done. Screw all the easy stuff. I'll figure out a way of getting someone else to do that.
Yeah, I like that. So in a second, I want to ask you about how you outsource a lot of this stuff. But I definitely agree. Do the hard things first, and also do the things that make you money first.
Yeah.
And like ever since I started just saying, you know what, let me just start working hard for a little while. I mean, it's almost like exercise where you can go for a 45-minute bike ride on an elliptical, on a bike machine, or do the elliptical at like the easiest setting for an hour, and you're not really gonna get much out of it. But if you just spend 5 minutes doing sprints, I mean, you're gonna get in such better shape because you're doing what actually works, what actually takes some effort, and for the rest of the day, I mean, you could just kind of chill out. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably the hardest thing for people in a 9-to-5 to understand, though, because it's basically their time is earning them their money. So if they're putting in 8 hours a day, then they're getting 8 hours worth of income. Whereas for us, it doesn't work like that. You can't just put in 8 hours and expect to earn a lot of money. You need to think, okay, what needs to get done in order for me to make money in this? And that may only take you an hour.
Before I used to think my ideal job would be something that pays a lot of money per hour, right? So one of the exciting things about going to Australia for a lot of people is what your minimum wage is. Like, what is it now? Do you know?
I think it's like, isn't it like 80,000 the minimum wage?
Yeah.
I think the minimum wage is like $12 an hour or something like that.
I think it's more. I think it's like 18 an hour in Australia.
I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to work for minimum wage.
Well, I know bartenders get like $25 an hour.
Yeah, and you could pick fruit and get paid $1,000 a week cash.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are doing that. I mean, I think it would actually be really fun to do for a few weeks, but
no.
maybe not the fruit picking part. But I heard what's fun about it is just living with a bunch of other, travelers, and you kind of all live in a one big ghetto together, like a big room together, and you guys cook potatoes together.
That sounds horrible.
I don't know. It's definitely not for everyone, but I can imagine it doing that for a few weeks. But
It sounds like Ireland when they had the potato famine.
that's what they do. It's mainly a lot of Irish guys actually in Australia who do it. But I wouldn't want to do that for months on end and have that be my only source of income.
No way.
And so, the other day I was actually calculating what do I think my time is worth now. And I enjoy working really hard when I need to, but I also enjoy not working, just to work. So, for example, a buddy of mine who I met out here, he wanted me to be one of his coaches on this new membership course he's doing, and he was going to pay me hourly. And he was, basically asking me, hey, what do you want to be paid? And in my mind, I didn't want to sound like a dick, but I was like, it's going to have to be at least $100 an hour or more for it to be worth my time. I mean, and that's just the way it is now. It's not because it's not like I expect to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week and get paid $100 an hour. It's more, let me just do what is necessary. I'll do it, in 2 or 3 hours, and you'll get your benefit from it because it'll work, and it'll be worth my time. So for you, I mean, what is your typical schedule like? I know you spend more time when you're launching a new product, but what is your schedule really like?
I like to keep a bit of a morning ritual going on. So I wake up in the morning and I'll get up at around about 7 to 8, wherever, and I'll just scull a glass, like 2 glasses of water, just to wake myself up, and then go do a gym workout. And we have juice in the morning, not steroids, like actual juice.
Yeah. Well, we have to clarify for Australian non-Australians out there. Skull means what?
Skull?
Yeah.
Skull, down and drink.
So he just meant I drink 2 glasses of water in the morning.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I drink 2 glasses of water in the morning. That was my American accent.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I'll get to the office, anywhere from 9 to 10 o'clock, and then, just work a couple of hours, go get lunch, come back, work a couple more hours and go home. So I think right now I'm probably working maybe 4 to 6 hours a day, just because that's what I want to do. But I'm just trying to base it off that. I'm trying to base it off what I want to do as opposed to what I think I need to do. I think that's more important that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because for me, I actually enjoy working now. I mean, I'm excited. For example, so this weekend I just got back from a 2-day trek, and I wouldn't have been. I guess I could do that in the U.S. if I really planned for it. But first, it was super easy to organize here. I just showed up the day before, and I booked. I said, "Hey, what do you guys have going on this weekend? I want to do some kind of excursion." And for I think it was 1,800 baht, which is less than, I don't know.
It's like $60.
Yes, maybe $70 the most. It included transportation out into the jungle, which was like an hour and a half away. All the meals included. They cooked really good food too. They were cooking on these wooden stoves that they would. We had this guide who grew up in this little village, and he was fearless, completely fearless. He would just disappear, come back with firewood, start making this fire, start chopping up vegetables. He would pick fruits and vegetables, from the jungle while we were trekking.
Really?
Yeah. And he had this huge machete with him, and we walked through the most idyllic places, and we didn't see a single tourist for 2 days, which is incredible. It was beautiful. The weather was perfect, and we had this big group. We had a group of about 8 people from all over the world. We had 2 people from Belgium, 2 people from Switzerland, Australian. And it was just kind of a fun time. And we ended up spending the night at this jungle lodge. It was basically these bamboo huts. There was 3 bamboo huts kind of centered around this fireplace, or this this campfire, and it was right next to a waterfall. So after a whole day of hiking, we're sweaty and hot. We get to the lodge, put our things down, jump into this beautiful waterfall. It was like a legit waterfall because it has been raining recently. So just gushing water. This huge kind of lagoon, swimming around. And this whole weekend was $70.
Yeah.
And the best news is because it's American Thanksgiving weekend, it was Black Friday sales.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have that in Australia?
We don't yet, no. It hasn't really got there.
But what was great is because of that, we got a big surge in traffic. We did a Black Friday promotion, like a sale for one of my e-commerce stores, a couple of my e-commerce stores. I came back with 6 sales. And so this morning, bam, that's what I've been doing. It's, a couple $1,000s right there. and I enjoy processing those orders. I mean, I could outsource those. I could get some guy in India, pay him a couple of bucks an hour to forward those emails to my dealers. But I love looking at them. Like, oh, somebody from Michigan bought this. Somebody from New York bought this. Why not, right?
That's so you though. You like find those things so interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas me, on the other hand, I'd be like, just get some Filipino to do that stuff for me, I think.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, what do you outsource?
So I've got 3 people working for me in our affiliate marketing business. I should probably say, like, we've got 2 businesses basically. So Screw the 9 to 5 is now a business as well that makes money, and then outside of that, we do our affiliate sites. For the affiliate business, we have Sabrina. She does like all our content management and things like that. She also does keyword research now, which is excellent. And then I've got one Filipino VA. He does all the SEO for me. And then another writer who writes content for our SEO sites. So that's everything there. And all up, the total cost for the 3 of those is less than $2,000 a month.
And what's cool is you hire Sabrina, who's Canadian. She was actually episode 4, I believe, of this of the podcast. So if you want to kind of hear her side of it, from working as an assistant, working as a person who is basically, I mean, I guess she's your employee, but also a friend.
Yeah, she's super important in our business as well. She's taken on more of a managerial role. I think it's very important to try and find someone like that, or else it's very difficult to grow because you can't hand off a lot of the managerial stuff to a VA in the Philippines. They usually can't take on that kind of work. So if you can have someone who grew up in the Western Hemisphere, then they're more likely to want to take on those roles and take a little bit more initiative as well. I think that's super important in a manager.
So does the Western Hemisphere include Australians?
I don't know. Does it?
I have no idea.
I don't think it does. But
yeah.
But Australians are too expensive anyway, so...
Yeah, that's true. And you probably don't want a guy from the bush, right?
No, they're all right.
They're okay?
Yeah, they're all right. They get the job done.
Nice. So one thing I think is cool is you have, native English speakers write your articles. Why did you choose that versus paying someone less money, from India or the Philippines to write your articles?
So we have someone from the Philippines who writes articles for our websites that we use to link to our sites. Like, I could go on all day about linking and SEO and stuff, but I won't. So they do the really basic stuff. It doesn't require a high level of English, and it's very cheap, very affordable to do it that way. But getting things written for our money websites, or the sites that actually we want to get people to read and actually hopefully click our links on, we want to pay top quality for that kind of stuff. So for getting the articles written for your money site, you want to pay a little bit more for those, because there's going to be people coming to those sites and actually reading them. If the English is very poor on those articles, then they're probably going to bounce straight away and they're not going to click on your affiliate links. That's why we pay someone with English as their first language to write that content for us.
So even though, these articles, this affiliate stuff, it sounds complicated, but if we break it down to the most basic, it would be, let's say somebody had a blog, that was interesting to read, that was relevant to what you actually was searching for, and then they happen to have, they recommended a product at the end of it. There's a good chance, that if you agreed with it and that's what you're looking for, you would buy it. And that's basically what you're doing on a big scale, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing on a big scale. And that's sort of the difficult part is learning how to scale that system, because what generally happens is if you're setting up big authority sites, you can put all your time and focus into that, and hopefully it'll grow. But then Google might come out with an update and then you'll lose a lot of your rankings, a lot of your search traffic. So I'm sort of going with a second approach here with the small sites and trying to set up one site per week and get it all done within 1 week. So get all the content written, the website set up, the SEO done on it, and then boom, move on to the second one and go from there. That's sort of the challenging part, is learning how to scale that and making sure that you're not working in that business. You're getting other people to do that for you.
Yeah, and that's definitely a great way to use outsourcing, use the VAs.
Yeah, it's easy doing it that way, but if you're requiring more creative work, then you need to pay a bit more money for that, because you need people who are actually thinking and wanting to grow your business for you.
Yeah. Well, an example of an accidental authority site that I created, is myfightcamp.com. This originated almost 4 years ago, where I started blogging about my Muay Thai adventures, kind of just different gyms that I went to throughout Thailand, and I never monetized it for the first 3 years. It was just kind of my personal blog. I enjoyed writing about it. I enjoyed reviewing gyms, and it was kind of something I linked to my friends back home would read. And it became an authority site by accident because first it had tons of long tail keywords about what is the best Muay Thai gym on Koh Lanta, which is a small island in Thailand. And because nobody else was writing about it, anytime you click that, you type that in, you'd go to my blog. And eventually what I did was I started having some affiliate links, like for example, whey protein. One of the articles was what's the best supplements to bring with you for Muay Thai training. And a lot of people back in the US or back at home would want to know what to pack. And one of the things I recommend was bring your own protein, because it's really expensive here in Thailand and the quality is not very good. So I used an affiliate link on Amazon to my favorite brand, which is Optimum Nutrition. And that's what I would recommend to my friends anyway. But because people would buy it through my link, I would get some money for it. And that's, an accidental authority blog. I don't recommend that for people as a primary way to make money, because it took me almost 4 years to create it. Create a couple hundred blog posts. I actually lived through that, and the money I make through it isn't, even though it's passive, it's not a lot of money. So the way that you're doing it is a lot smarter, where everything's directly translating into actual into sustainable profit, because you're actually making pretty good money from it.
Yeah, so that's from the beginning. It was always like that. We started this because we wanted to build a business out of it, as opposed to starting a blog. I mean, I love playing rugby. I could go and start a blog that has to do with rugby, but there's probably not a lot of search traffic for that, or there's not a lot of long tail keywords, and it'd be very difficult to sell products in that. I probably could do it in the long run, but I know it's going to take ages. But I don't want that. I'm more of a direct response kind of person, so I want to see results within sort of a month or two. And that's why we started doing what we're doing now, setting up these small sites. They're very easy to do. It doesn't require really any time from me. I can get someone to do every single task along the way, and I know that they're going to result in income. Some of them don't. The odd one doesn't, but the majority will make at least $1. Nah, they'll make a lot more than that.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons why we really respect you and want you to do on this podcast is because you actually make good money online. But you're also very humble about it, and it's cool that you can use this money to live a pretty good life with you and your wife. So it's not just you slumming it around out of a backpack. You're living a nice life out here with your wife, who likes nice things, and you guys like to go to nice places, and you're able to do that. And basically keep a relationship together while traveling, while working. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's very interesting working with your partner. If you can do it, it's an amazing thing. I don't think a lot of people can do it. You got to remember that. I think probably the most important thing to remember is that you're not the same people. You go into business thinking that the other person you're doing business with is the same as you. They're going to have the same ideas. That's not the case, right? You're two different people. And I think it's really important that we're sort of moving towards this right now, is that each of you has something that you control yourself, that the other person has very little say in. And you become an expert at that, and the other person becomes an expert at what they're working on. That's really helped us lately. Jill's focusing a lot more on Screw the 9 to 5. She wants to be a marketer in that sense, and I want to focus more on setting up these sites or setting up these systems, and then eventually moving on to e-commerce like you, big fella. And it's really helped us out, because I can't go to Jill and say, I think that's a bad idea, you shouldn't do that, because she's the expert. She knows a lot more than I do when it comes to marketing on Screw the 9 to 5. Likewise, she can't come over to me and say, oh, that affiliate, that niche is probably a bad niche, you shouldn't go into that. I'm like, you don't know anything. No, I don't say that to her.
You'd never say that to her.
But it's sort of creating those boundaries for us has really helped. We're still working on the same business together. We're still working together, but we have separate things that we can control.
Yeah, but that's awesome that you guys can separate like that. And so let's say a guy's listening to this and he's really technical. He's good at, all the web skills. Let's say he's a bit of an introvert. He used to be a programmer or something. And his girlfriend, is on Pinterest, on Facebook all day, and she's great at that. What are some roles that, let's say she knows nothing about internet marketing. What are some things that you can kind of assign to her in the beginning to get her comfortable with it?
Well, she probably wouldn't even need to if you're the guy and you already know all the stuff as far as setting up websites and doing SEO and all the technical things, then you can kind of help each other out here. So you don't know anything about Pinterest and Facebook and social media and whatever. So she can take control of that. She can control all that side of the business, and then you can kind of control all the setting up the websites and whatnot. So I don't think you would need to even tell your girlfriend or whatever. You wouldn't need to say, hey, you need to learn about SEO, because you've really got that under control. So you just need to explain the basics to them. So what we were just talking about then, the basics of affiliate marketing, how you make money from it. Like as soon as that other person understands the basics, then they'll know why they're doing what they're doing. Because those kind of skills are amazing. I think women are so much better at guys at doing social media, and everything's moving towards that. So if you can partner up with your girlfriend or wife who's amazing at that stuff, you're going to be set in the future for sure.
Well, one of our friends that we hang out with, her name is Jules, and she's in PR. And I was asking her about social media and PR, and she said, and she mentioned that maybe 5-10 years ago, PR meant just getting your name out of tabloids or out of newspapers. But nowadays, PR literally means social media.
That's crazy, eh? Well, of course it would. It's the easiest form of PR as well. It's cheap. You can reach more people as well. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a whole industry, so let's say your girlfriend wants to come traveling with you. She's like living in cold Toronto and thinking, this sucks.
Cold Toronto?
Cold. Yeah. Toronto's lovely. I was actually there a few months ago during the summer.
Yeah, during the summer.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But would I want to live there during the winter? Probably not.
No, you wouldn't.
No, definitely not.
No.
So today we're out here at a new. Actually, I guess it's not that new. It's new to me.
It's new called, to me as well.
Yeah. It's a co-working space. I mean, I know we plug Punspace a lot, and you guys probably think that's my affiliate link, but it's not. If anything, it's probably better if less people know about it, because then it won't get overcrowded. But I've had such good experiences there that I talk about it a lot. But I'm really happy to say that today we found another co-working space in Chiang Mai. It's called Coffee Monster. And it's not a membership base. It's basically a coffee shop restaurant where you come in, you just order whatever you would get anyways, and you can use their Wi-Fi for free, which is really fast. Great desks and spaces. I'll post some pictures on this episode's show notes. It's episode 12 with photos of the co-working space, so you can see what it's like. We're even in this little meeting room that's designed almost for filming and
podcasting,
I guess. Yeah, it's perfect. And they're still building it. I mean, there's a swimming pool that right now it's not complete, but that's gonna be amazing. There's a billiards table.
Is there?
Yeah, it's over there. And I heard they're even gonna open a room for on-site masseuse.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So so it's cool that Chiang Mai is growing and there's going to be alternatives because Punspace is getting pretty full. What's cool though is Punspace is actually opening another location in the old city, in the main city center. I think they said February or March it's going to open up. So this is a huge hub. Have you been out to Vietnam or any other places that have this same kind of feeling? I
haven't been to anywhere that has the same kind of feeling like Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai, it seems like it was designed for people like us, almost. But I've heard Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh has a similar feel to it, but there's no co-workspaces there, right? The only places I know have co-workspaces are in Ubud, in Bali, and Bangkok, and here. I'm not sure if there's anywhere else in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I've been to Ubud I think it's a few years ago for New Year's, and it's lovely. I like it there a lot. I probably wouldn't go to Kuta, which is where all the Australians hang out. But Indonesia is cool. I wouldn't mind that. I wanted to check out Saigon, which I just found out is actually the same as Ho Chi Minh City.
It is, yeah.
Why do they call it the same?
Wasn't Saigon like the old name for it, and the new name is Ho Chi Minh?
Okay, I guess it's like Burma and Myanmar, where people just kind of refer to it as the same place. So I've been wanting to check that out. What I've heard is it's a great place, but everyone who's it's an amazing place for people who haven't been to Chiang Mai yet.
Yeah, I sort of get that feeling as well. Everyone sort of who comes from Ho Chi Minh and comes here, they'll straight away tell you that Chiang Mai is much better.
Yeah, so...
But in saying that, I'm sort of getting to a point now, I love it here, but I sort of need a bit more... And you know what, this city is growing every day, so eventually it will reach this point. But when I was in Bangkok recently, I sort of enjoyed the energy there a lot. it was nice to sort of go there and feel like a lot more energy that was going on in the city. Chiang Mai is a much more relaxed place. So if you have to go somewhere and sort of get a lot of work done, or if you're just getting started, this is the perfect place to come. There's no distractions, fast internet, and it's really, really affordable.
Yeah, I think I've decided where Chiang Mai is going to be kind of my base, but I do want to spend, let's say, like the summers, I think I want to check out Europe or I want to check out South America. But if I actually want to get any work done, I'll probably come back to Chiang Mai. And it's nice that, we have a really cool group out here. I mean, just the people that we meet, not just at Pun Space anymore either. I mean, there's all these other groups, and turns out there's a whole other group here at Coffee Monster that hangs out and meets here every day that we didn't even know about.
Yeah, I just met a few of them now. Like, I had no idea they were here. That's what's kind of funny. Like, I've met a few people recently who've been here for like 2 years, and I've been here since April, and I haven't met them. So there's all these other people here who are working online that I didn't even know about.
So out of all the people that you meet online, what are some, I guess, business models that you've seen are successful that people are actually making money from?
I really like Anton's method, Anton's dropshipping method, which is what you're doing as well. For me, like, that's a natural evolution. That's what I'm going to move on to next, because affiliate marketing or dropshipping and e-commerce is kind of a step up from affiliate marketing, where you start handling the payments and taking bigger profit margins. So I love that model. I do see a lot of benefits in using a podcast to promote a blog that maybe you can go ahead and sell digital products for in the future. That tends to work quite well. And there's a lot of people who are developing apps right now, and this seems to be like a real hot spot in the market. And they're making pretty good cash doing that. So maybe those three for anyone who's wanting to get started.
Okay, so if someone wants to get started, what is like an actionable item that they can start doing where they can get the ball rolling instead of just sitting at home for another winter dreaming about it? What is something that people can actually just do right away?
The best thing to do is, this is what I did. I joined a forum. So I joined a forum that back in the day used to be a good forum. It was a warrior forum. Used to be a good forum, right?
Okay.
Way back in the day, like, there were proper marketers in there who were like actually giving away really good secrets and whatever. But then obviously it became crap, and now it's just really spammy and it's all bullshit. But if you can find a forum, and generally it's probably going to be more of a private forum, because if you're paying money to be in that forum, there's other people paying money to be in that forum, and they're serious about making money online or starting an online business. The forum that I'm a part of right now is the Dynamite Circle, and that's run by two guys, Dan and Ian. And I don't use the forum as much as what I should, but just by being in that forum, I've met so many people here who are also in that forum, and it's a really cool way of breaking the ice and talking to them about their businesses and getting ideas. But if I was first getting started, then I would probably be in that forum every day, reading through all the content, all the ideas. It's such a good way to ask people questions without, upsetting them and without taking up too much of their time.
Yeah, I agree with that. The forum I'm part of is actually, it's a paid forum as well. It's part of Anton's method, where anyone who bought the membership is part of the forum. So it's very different than Warrior Forum. Warrior Forum, I think they actually they charge like $5 or something now. So to me, that's not an actual paid forum. That's just I have no idea what Warrior Forum is. I don't recommend it.
It's designed to make money. So people sell WSOs, Warrior Special Offers. They sell... So the Warrior Forum is designed as a way of selling digital products and just taking advantage of people. So there'd be like a newbie will come along to the Warrior Forum, and then they'll see a link, or some person will write back and answer their question. In the signature, they'll see a link to their WSO, which is just a sales copy that person has set up, and then they'll go and purchase that product and make money. Actually, I know of this guy. His whole business model was literally going in the Warrior Forum. He had people who go in the Warrior Forum for him and see which products were selling the best, which digital products were selling the best. He would then pay someone in India to recreate the same product and put it back up on the Warrior Forum, and he was making something like $100,000 a month.
That is
for doing
insane.
It. So it's literally just a way of making money on there.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people listening to this are thinking, oh, that actually sounds like a great idea to make a quick buck. They just discarded everything we just talked about for the last 40 minutes and say, okay, that's my new business. So one of the downsides of that, right, is I've learned, in life, the only real way to really really be successful in life long term is to do a legitimate business that you actually put some effort in. If you're looking for the shortcuts, and in the beginning it's very natural to want the shortcuts. You can either spend the next 4 years looking for shortcuts and making $1,000 and then not making anything for 5 months, and making $1,000 and not making anything for 5 months, or you can just do something legitimate and correctly and have normal reoccurring income every month for maybe probably for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important to not measure your life based off how much money you make as well, but measure it based off how happy you are. So if you're selling, let's say you move into the porn niche, you can make a shitload of money in, right? And you start making that money, you're gonna change. You're gonna become you're gonna grow a mustache, you're going to become like a porn star yourself, right? You ain't going to be happy.
Well, that sounds like a dream for some guys.
Sounds like a dream for some guys. But if that makes you happy, then by all means do that. But think about what it is that makes you happy first before you think about how much money it's going to make.
Yeah, and I've heard this somewhere where, you have the grandma test as well. Before you get to any business, ask yourself, is this something that my grandmother would approve of? And is this something I'd be comfortable talking to my friends and family about? And if it's not, don't get into it. I mean, because it's in the long run, it's going to be stupid and shady. And you're not going to make, honestly, I truly genuinely believe this. If you're promoting products that you're not proud of talking to your parents about or your grandma about, you're not going to make money in the long run. I guarantee you that, because either what's going to happen is Google is going to slap your account and not let you, basically imagine never being able to advertise or do anything on Google anymore because you're promoting something shady. And I mean, they have so much control. I mean, people have no idea. But also just, your credibility. I mean, the only products I ever recommend on any of my blogs and the podcasts are things that I genuinely believe in. Things that I've used myself, books that I've read myself, courses that I've made money from. You'll never see me promoting, some get rich quick thing, because in the long, I mean, yeah, let's say that might work for a week or a month, but I'm in this for the long run. This is stuff that, everything I recommend my cousins and my sister, my, just my friends. And that's going to stick with me for years to come, versus trying to promote something that, you might make $1 from today, but it's not going to work and people are going to come back to you.
Absolutely. Can I just go to the bathroom really quickly?
Yeah, well, let's just wrap this up, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pee like a racehorse.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's wrap this up.
All right. So, any last words? How can people get in touch with you, buddy?
You can get in touch with me. Go to screwthe9to5.com. We release a weekly video now, so you can check those out. And you can check us out on Facebook as well. We've got a link on the website there. Or you can send me an email, josh@screwthe9to5.com. And yeah, I'm happy to help anyone who's pretty cool out.
Yeah, or you can just show up at the coffee shops here and check mine.
Yeah, just do that.
Cool, guys. So if you guys want access to any of these links or to the videos or anything, just go to travellikeabosspodcast.com and go to the show notes, episode 12. This is with Josh Stanton, and look forward to having you guys on next week. And thanks again to everyone who's left all these cool 5-star reviews on iTunes. It's really been helping spread the word, and big shout out to everyone listening, and peace out, right?
Peace out.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for getting through another episode. Big shout out to Josh. Thank you for being on the show. If you guys want links to everything we talked about, including all the books Josh recommended, AntonMethod.com, ScrewThe9to5.com, all that's on the show notes of episode 12, as well as a bonus video that we're going to put up pretty shortly. And big shout out to Jer Prez for leaving a 5-star review on iTunes. He says, thanks for the great new baller podcast, and keep the traveling like a boss. As well as Rockstar Life Astronaut. If you've read the 4-Hour Work Week, this podcast is for you. So keep checking it out. Weekly episodes coming soon. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and check out travellikeabosspodcast.com. Peace out, guys.